Greetings, dear viewers. I, Aditya Nair, along with my co-author Yash Chopra, part of the 6th I2CT Annual Conference, proudly present our paper on the topic of Comparative Review on Sentiment Analysis-Based Recommendation System today. Our co-authors include Janya Pandya and Christopher Paralkar as well. We are students of NMMS University's Mukesh Patel School of Technology, Management and Engineering and were mentored by our professor Deepa Krishnan while writing the said paper. Now, to give you a brief introduction, we are rightly coined as living in the digital age. We are recommended everything from products to shows to watch on television. Now, with respect to the products to buy on an e-commerce platform, hours are spent on researching about the best kind of product to purchase. What if you could reduce these hours into just mere seconds? Now, lots of websites for recommendation use similarity, either user to user, user to item, or item to item based recommendation system. These usually rely upon users' ratings, and ratings are very subjective and are always insufficient to make a proper recommendation. How do we solve this issue? This is elaborated on further. Our objective in this paper is to summarize different extraction techniques of data and explore various sentiment analysis and filtering algorithms which help in recommendation as opposed to user rating, along with implementing proper evaluation metrics and providing a qualitative and quantitative evaluation of these same sentiment analysis techniques. Our process flow is as follows. Firstly, we have looked upon various data extraction techniques. Then, we have looked upon various sentiment analysis techniques, which focuses on analyzing user reviews. Furthermore, we have looked at the filtering techniques which are used for recommendation. And lastly, to compare all the three, we have used certain performance evaluation metrics. Now, coming to data extraction, it is the preliminary stage before any kind of model can be made. We have to identify a source, collect information, and select an appropriate method to extract it to build a good data set. Now, there are three methods of going about it. Freely available software platforms, machine learning based tools, as well as programmable scrapers and crawlers. Now the first, software platforms. They include browser extensions such as Spider, data scrapers like Webu, and Import.io, which do not require much knowledge in programming and have a flexible interface for converting them into various formats, such as JSON and CSV. They also use sophisticated backend techniques such as mimicry, weight measurement, and differential approach. Users who are programmatically inclined towards Python may also choose to make use of Scrappy, a Python software which not only extracts data, but is also capable of further analysis too. Beautiful Soup is another Python library that parses web pages and removes unnecessary tags to further refine data collection. Finally, we have machine learning algorithmic tools such as Rapier and SRV, which are highly advanced in terms of efficiency. They learn on the basis of sets of user-defined rules to understand how to extract relevant data by passing through HTML document model trees of web pages, also called as DOM.
Sentiment analysis. Once data extraction is done, we can have data in the form of reviews, comments, but it can be any other format. Now, the elements of this data set can be further used by applying various sentiment analysis techniques of them. This can help us in identifying the product reputation, understanding customer requirements, and there are many more to the list. There are various types to it. It includes fine grain, which is done at the sentence level or sub-sentence level. We have emotion detection, which helps in identifying complex human emotions such as happiness, sadness, anger, etc. Thirdly, there is aspect-based sentiment analysis, which takes the context into the consideration. On the slide, there is an image. It has three reviewers, an e-commerce reviewer, a Twitter reviewer, and a Facebook reviewer. E-commerce reviewer says, had a great time using the product. Word like great is used. It shows a positive sentiment, so a +4 is given to it. The Twitter reviewer says, The product is against the government standards. This shows negative sentiment because words like against are present. So a -5 is given to it. Our Facebook reviewer says, have a look at my eye-popping speaker. It again shows a positive sentiment. Over here, various corporas are used to identify similar words. Now, in the previous slides, we mentioned that a score is assigned, but how it is done? There are two approaches to it. Firstly, there is rule-based approach in which normal human statements are written, various if-else statements are written, and based on them, results are obtained. Then there is automatic approach, which includes various machine learning algorithms. We've reviewed support vector machine, which is normally known as SVM, naive-based, logistic regression, and decision tree or random forest. Naive-Bayes is based on the Bayesian theorem, or we can say the posterior probability. Then the support vector machine basically plots a hyperplane which divides the labels into two parts such that they can be classified. Decision tree is nothing but if-else statement in the form of a top-down approached decision tree which can help in identifying labels by going through the tree. Logistic regression works on the probability and occurrences of numbers. Finally, there is recommendation system. Today, for a single product, hundreds of options are available, and to select the right one is a big task. But when the going gets tough, tough engineers like us get going. A recommendation system can be built. For this, various filtering techniques are there. We've reviewed three techniques. Firstly, there is content based, which takes the content into consideration to recommend. There is collaborative filtering, as the word suggests, collaboration is used. Nearest neighborhood method is used to find the closest user similar to a user, and based on their preferences, a product is recommended. Finally, there is hybrid approach, which is the combination of content based and collaborative filtering. There are two types of collaborative filtering. Firstly, there is user based, in which a user A is recommended a product based on user B and C who are similar to user A, and their preferences and their reviews are used to provide recommendation. Then there is an item based approach in which the previous reviews of a reviewer are used to recommend product. To evaluate the results, various performance evaluation metrics are present. We mentioned few of them. Firstly, there is mean absolute error, which takes the average of difference between the actual value and the predicted value. Then there is precision, which is nothing but true positive divided by true positive plus false positive, an efficient method. Then there is recall, which is nothing but true positive divided by true positive plus false negative. Precision and recall are a very good alternative to finding accuracy. Lastly, we mentioned about root mean square error, which is nothing but square root of square of difference between the actual value and the predicted value. Few conclusions we'd like to mention. Data can be extracted using various methods. Nowadays, they are supported by various pre-processing tools as well, which makes the task really easy. Performance evaluation is really important, and it can be done using various metrics. Ones are RMSE, MAE, precision, and recall. Thirdly, sentiment analysis can be done at a sentence level, paragraph level, or a document level, and a score can be assigned, which can be further used for various purposes. We've reviewed around 21 papers, and out of the data given and out of the results obtained by various researchers, we found that support vector machine known as SVM had the best results. It was the best in almost all kind of data set and in all kind of situations.
Lastly, I would like to mention about the future scope of our review and research. We learned that deep learning algorithms can be used for better accuracy, and this is because they are really good at learning on how to better classify and segregate data with exponential increase in the data size. Now, coming to the major problem and obstacle faced in data sparsity. What is data sparsity? You could say it's the lack of reviews for a particular product. For example, how would you recommend a product which does not have many reviews or any ratings from any user? The best approach for this is hybrid filtering, a combination of both content-based and collaborative filtering, taking both of their advantages and removing their disadvantages. Hybrid filtering's main idea is to overcome the data sparsity problem that degrades the performance of collaborative filtering algorithms by using item content to make the user item interaction matrix dense and populating it with values which are usable. This can be further used for those products that do not have sufficient values, or in our case, user reviews for products. These are some of our references with regard to the 21 papers that we have reviewed. Finally, we would like to thank the research community, our mentor, as well as the I2CT conference for making this possible. It would be our pleasure to share our work with the rest of the research community to help the community itself